Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Jason Rosen here once again with Kevin Connors. Just crank out another webinar. We just want to do something really, really simple, but something we both feel that is really super important, and that's just cover basically enzymes 101. Right, Dr. C?
Yes, sir. Enzymes 101.
So,
Absolutely. Super important. There's, like I said, I think we talked about in one of the gut video ones that, if there's one thing you could give the person, start with enzymes. So if you're
yep.
new to functional medicine, this is a new place to start. So,
Yeah, this is just like a great place to start if you're just like, I just want to start doing something other than straight chiropractic. I mean, this right here, like you said, is just great place to
right.
start. All you're
And if
gonna do,
you're old to functional medicine, then this is a great place to start.
yeah,
So, it make
that
a difference.
that is an awesome point. Okay, all right. So first one, hydrochloric acid. So like it starts with the stomach, no doubt about it. So I think like most people understand this, but I think that probably there's a lot more that actually don't that understand how the body works when it breaks food down. So the body starts chewing on some food, some enzymes get released. We turn this food into a chyme substance, and then the most important step that happens next is hydrochloric acid needs to get squirted onto this food. And what does that do? It like probably number one, not only does it help break the food down, but it helps disinfect the food. And with the state of our food supply today, holy cow, do people have like tons of who knows what in the food supply? And
Absolutely.
another big piece of hydrochloric acid, like in the big methylation craze, is it's a huge methylator. Its chemical name is methylglycine. So this little simple little supplement, which I'm telling you, like almost nobody in the country has enough of, because the more protein you eat, the more hydrochloric acid your body is going to demand. The more food you eat, the more hydrochloric acid your body is going to demand, and your body will even release it when you come into contact with infections. It'll use it to disinfect your organs. So it is so precious, yet it is in such short supply in just about anybody, especially when they start to get into their mid 30s and beyond. And in my mind,
Well,
one of the
especially with the medication that's used today that affects our hydrochloric acid production and the deficiency in B vitamins that affects our hydrochloric acid production.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, what else can we really say about HCl? I mean, it's absolutely critical. And I believe that it's probably one of the number one reasons why people get ill in the world is because they don't have enough of this stuff.
Well, and it's the hard part for patients to understand. It's counterintuitive because they think, oh, I'm have this acid belching up this acid. I have this reflux, this GERD, so I need to take an antacid. Well, it does help the symptoms. It will take away that GERD pain, but the reason why you have that GERD pain is not because you have an excess HCl, it's because you have a deficiency in HCl. And you have
Absolutely.
to explain to your patients that the reason why you have that belching up of acid is because you don't have enough of it to digest that bolus of food sitting in the stomach. So that bolus is sitting in the stomach much longer than it's supposed to.
Yep.
And then the little acid you do have is bubbling up to the top of the stomach. You probably have a hiatal hernia, so it bubbles into the other side of the diaphragm and squirts up into the esophagus and gives you all this pain.
Yep.
And yes, that is dangerous to the esophagus, but you got to fix the problem. You actually give the person more HCl.
Yep. So the number one
So
symptom of need for hydrochloric acid is acid reflux,
that's
right? Without a doubt. And
so you
so
have
many
to educate your patients about a
yeah.
little bit of anatomy and physiology.
Yeah, a lot of people just they have a hard time getting their head around it, and it's especially when everyone's popping Tums and Rolaids. They really have no idea what they're doing to themselves, and you know, blocking one of their most like one of the first lines of defense that you're given by God in your body, and that's your stomach acid. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
other symptoms of need with HCl is definitely if you have B vitamin problems. Would you agree?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And you touched on maybe one of the more important ones is that it's your first line of defense against parasites.
Yes. So
So,
another symptom of need, well, and also prevention of need is, like you said, H. pylori. H. pylori is a huge chronic problem, leads to heart disease and just a host of other issues. And why do you get that in the first place? Well, 9 times out of 10, it's lack of HCl. And
yeah.
then other chronic problems like parasites. People think they have IBS and all these Crohn's and stuff like that. They don't know where it came from. Well, it probably came because you didn't have enough hydrochloric acid to disinfect some food you ate one day.
Well,
And
well, you said it. This could be the cause of 9 out of 10 diseases known to man right here. You
yeah,
know,
so yeah, if you're young, I would say if you're really young and you're really athletic, make sure you consume a good amount of really clean salt because you need the chloride fraction of that salt to make your own HCl, especially if you live in a warm climate. And then if you really want to keep yourself free from a lot of big chronic problems, yeah, I would say it's your best bet to start supplementing HCl probably when what would you say about age 35 or so?
oh, yeah, well, these days it's even before that because, the typical American diet where people are eating all this junk food and stuff,
Right,
that's decreasing their HCl production even as a young child. So,
that is true.
um, I mean, just personally, I dose people on this. Just start with just taking one with every meal. You just have to, even if they don't, I don't, it's not based upon symptoms even.
Yep.
They came in your office, they're not well. Even if you're practicing, straight chiropractic type practice where they're coming in with the headache, they're not well. So really, every one of your patients should be on this product, and I don't make a penny off of selling this product. So
That is
every
true.
person in your office should be making. Yeah, we should do something about that,
Right.
Jeff. But everybody should be on HCL. It just is just a given.
Yeah, I
No
can't agree more.
questions
It's
asked.
it's my if like people always ask me if I could only take one thing, what would I take, or what's your favorite multivitamin? I'm like HCl. There's no way I would choose anything
Well,
else
because that's what's going
above it.
to
Yeah,
cause you to get your nutrients out of your food.
right.
If you can't properly break it down, you can't absorb it, and then you're not going to be getting the proper nutritive value of your food.
I
So,
agree. And what good is that if I'm gonna get exposed to some type of infection and then who knows what kind of problems that could lead to. So anyway, we could go on and on and on about this, but
all right,
we're trying to
talk
keep
me into
this
it. I got
101.
to start taking HCL now.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, please do. I mean, I love you too much. All right. So, okay. So that's hydrochloric acid. This product's got HCl in it and some enzymes. So it's a nice, kind of perfect place for someone to start. Something to mention though, when you take HCl, you do want to make sure you drink a good amount of water with it because it could create a little bit of a burning sensation, or there might be an adjustment period, and usually that goes away when you just drink enough water. So just don't take this on an empty stomach without water. And the best time to take it is usually middle or end of the meal.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So now we've got the food broken down and we've got it nice and disinfected. The HCl is doing its job. Then the next thing we got to do is get into the small intestine and further break this stuff down. So let's talk about digestive enzymes and just how important these guys are, how deficient they are in today's society.
Okay. Well, the HCl zyme does have some digestive enzymes in it, like you said. But when a person has more digestive problems, so the HCl zyme by itself is just for everybody. But when then now you have a patient that is having some digestive issues, or you think that they have some leaky gut issues, which everybody does,
Right.
but you're treating them for those things. If you're getting into functional medicine, enzymes, like you said, are step number one. You can cure half your patient's problems with just helping their gut here. So doing digestimes is step number 2
Yep.
for me. So I
Absolutely.
don't put everybody on both HCl and digestimes or any other enzyme, but most of my patients do. But I wouldn't put every single patient that walks in an average chiropractic door on both of these. But certainly, when you're going to start dealing with their digestive issues, you got to add more um, pancreatic
Pancreatic.
digestive
Yep.
enzymes that are
Yep.
going to be in working more in the small and large intestine.
Yep. And like a lot of people like again ask, well, what do you take for, like liver help and stuff like that? I'm like, you got to start with the digestion first. And the reason you probably have a liver problem to begin with is because you are not producing enough digestive enzymes to break your food down, and your body's backup system for that is to send rotting food that's sitting in your intestine that you can't break down through the hepatoportal system into the liver. So everyone wants to, oh, I want to do a liver detox. Well, why don't you start breaking your food down first, and then maybe start to work on the liver. So that's another I think big point that a lot of people miss. Like you said, you have to look at the anatomy of the body. And then, of course, people say, oh, my body produces enzymes. Why do I need more? Well, let's look at that. There used to be a ton more in our food supply. Do you think a lot of people out there are, consuming fermented foods, eating mostly fruit and vegetables and a little bit of protein? No, it's the opposite. They're consuming tons of carbohydrates and sugar and all these things that deplete enzymes, and they're not eating food that has enzymes in it. So for your body to have to just make that sacrifice every single time you eat a meal because you're not eating properly, you definitely is you should look at supporting the body with additional enzymes. There's a cool law called the adaptive law of secretion, where your body will not produce an extra enzyme if it doesn't absolutely have to. And so that is something I relate to a lot of people when they say, oh, well, I don't want to take too many enzymes, my body will stop making them. And that's just definitely not
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, that does not, your enzymes do not work on a negative feedback loop.
Right.
There's some interesting study, I can't recall where I saw it. It was in one of the journals about they did a study on relating to the size of Americans' pancreases
Oh.
over the last 60 years. And they equated it with the increased rate of pancreatic cancer.
Oh, wow.
And the hypothesis was that because the American diet has gotten so poor, the need for pancreatic enzymes has risen. So people's pancreases have hypertrophied over time, and the stress on the pancreas has increased the rate of pancreatic cancer.
It makes sense.
So
It's sad. It's really, really sad, but it unfortunately it makes a lot of sense. Great point, Dr. C. All right, so
you just take a
symptoms.
whole lot of stress off of it.
Yes, you can take so much stress off of it just by taking these guys. Or if you just want to go hardcore and you don't have like histamine problems, you should be doing some fermented stuff or whatever. So anyway, we don't want to get too
Right.
far down the road. So symptoms. Okay, the symptom list here could just go on forever, but the basic ones, of course, your gas and bloating, your swollen hands and fingers, your wedding ring when you eat bad won't come off, aches, pains, plaque on your teeth. I mean, any other big ones that come to mind?
Well, just any of your digestive symptoms, which
Yep.
everybody has. I mean, you people are, well, they want to run the labs to see if there's gut inflammation and there's leaky gut issues, and run the labs to see if there's food sensitivities. And we talked about those in Gut 201, that they're
Yep.
so important to do. But you really want to start with just giving these, because really seriously, you can help clear up a lot of their problems by doing that. So if they could break down the gliadin into its amino acid component, now you're not going to react to that.
Right.
Um,
You react to the
so
protein, not the amino acid.
yeah, you're reacting to the protein and the peptides, and not the individual amino acids. So proper digestion we forget just 101 here of physiology. You need HCl and enzymes to break food down. Otherwise, it's stayed in a longer peptide form if it's a protein,
Yep.
and then it has more ability for your immune system to react to it further down in the intestinal tract. So yeah,
Yeah. The faster you can break
any
this stuff
symptoms
down, the
of
better.
gut issues. So it just you got to go with enzymes first.
Yep, I completely agree. And another thing I like about this formula is it's really broad spectrum. It contains astrazyme, which has actually been clinically proven to even further boost how quickly enzymes break down your food into into amino acid, which is
Well, the Digestimes Plus that I like so much is that it's just there's just not another enzyme on the market that has the variety of enzymes in it that this does.
right. That is true. All right. Well, thank you so much, docs. That's Enzymes 101. Jason Rosen here once again for Dr. Kevin Connors. We hope you're getting a lot out of these, and we hope to see you next time, Dr. Cease.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye bye.